guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my Pan Those Eyeshadows intro for 2022. So if you guys didn't watch my project last year, I will link it up here so you guys can check it out. I did a Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan for the whole of 2021. If you don't know what it is, I would recommend you watching those videos to kind of find out about it. But basically, this is a very popular project in the panning community on YouTube. You'll basically pick a certain number of eyeshadows to kind of work on each month. You'll randomly select them through like a random number generator or decisions wheel or something like that, and then you will work on those shadows. For me personally, I choose to work on them until either I hit pan or I hit 30 uses. Then in the following month's update, I will roll them out and randomly select a new set of eyeshadows based on whether I've hit those goals or not. So for me personally, just a few rules for my project for 2022. I'm going to be working on 4 shades each month. Last year I did 6 for most of the year. This year I've got a few other projects. I've got my whole collection project pan in which I can roll in an eyeshadow, and my 1 week 1 palette, which is going to be my focus project. So last year my focus project was my Pan Those eyeshadows. This year it'll be my 1 week 1 palette, so we might not see as much progress as we did last year each month. I hit like 15 pans in this project last month, so at least 1 per month. However, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do this year. I just want to continue to work on these shades in the Pan Those eyeshadows manner because it's my favourite. So yeah, I'll be rolling in 4 each month and trying to either hit 30 uses or pan. I will not be rolling in an entirely matte or entirely shimmer colour story. I will always make sure I have at least one of the 2 in there. So if I roll in 4 mattes, I will re-roll the last one to roll in a shimmer. I also won't work on 2 of the same shade. Obviously you can't work on the exact same shade, but 2 shades that are too similar to each other, like 2 blacks or 2 lid setting shades. I won't work on multiple of those, but I think that's all my rules, so I think we can just get into it. So for some statistics, I currently have 48 eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I am including my singles as one kind of palette in that number. I have 720 eyeshadow pans individually in my collection, and 41 of those have pan on them. So that gives me a pan percentage at 5.7%. So that is higher than my pan percentage at the start of last year, which was 4%, but it's fluctuated massively due to getting palettes in, decluttering palettes with pan in them, etc, etc. So I am aiming for the end of the year to hit 10%. I'm hoping not to buy too many eyeshadow palettes this year, but obviously we will see. I'm doing a lot of projects, hoping to do a lot of panning. So yeah, it's just kind of a wait and see thing. But without further ado, I'm going to pull up a random number generator on my laptop, and I'm going to randomly generate a number between 1 and 679, because that is the number of eyeshadows eligible that don't have pan. So I have each eyeshadow numbered in my spreadsheet, and I'm going in chronological order of palettes. So the lower the number, the older the palette is, and the higher the number, the newer the palette is. So let's roll in our first 4 shades for 2021, and the first number is going to be 573. So that is definitely a newer palette, and I've no idea what it could be. So 573 comes from, oh, that's exciting. That is from my Head in the Clouds palette from made by Mitchell, I believe. So let me pull that out. So this is the palette here. The shade 573 is the shade Bora Bora. I feel like this is going to be a blue, but we will have to see. Oh, okay, that's actually exciting. Oh, the shade isn't Bora Bora. I read it wrong. It's Bora Blue, so definitely a blue. But that's actually quite exciting. So it's this shade here, this kind of like pastel, kind of minty blue. This is what it looks like here, very light, and that is what it looks like swatched out. So I mean, it's definitely reasonably sheer, but I haven't really seen a pastel blue that isn't, in its defense. But yeah, that's a pretty pigmented pastel blue. I'm pretty excited to play with that. So yeah, that'll be pretty exciting. I can't wait to like get creative with that one. I definitely don't think we'll have pan in the next month. I don't know how much blue I'm going to use, but I'm really excited to just play with this one and get a bit more experimental. This is a new to me palette. I got it on Black Friday, so I've only used it a handful of times, and I'm really excited to play with it some more. So yeah, I'm going to pop that in my everyday makeup drawer now, and I can't wait to play around with it as a palette more, and also just that individual shade. Okay, so that is shade number 1 rolled in, and then shade number 2 is going to be 465. So again, a reasonably new one. 465 comes from my Beauty Bay Golden Age palette. That is this palette here, and I've rolled in the shade Roaring, which is, oh okay, it's this matte brown shade here. I don't love the mattes in here because they are a little bit more cool toned / neutral, and I do prefer a warmer toned eyeshadow look, but I love the Beauty Bay quality and I don't find them kind of too difficult to use. That is the brown there. That's just kind of a classic neutral brown. I mean, that will be very easy to work into everyday looks. I mean, I'm not going to find it difficult to work on a neutral brown. I just normally prefer something a little bit warmer. So yeah, it is this shade here. Obviously we don't have any palette there or dips at the moment, but I'm really excited to play around with that more. So yeah, that is palette number 2. So shade number 3 is, oh, number 21. So that is definitely a very old palette in my collection. Number 21, oh, that's gonna be interesting. This is from my Coloured Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I was working on this in my A to Z Project Pan series last year, and the shade Empress took forever to pan. The shade I've rolled in is Royal Prerogative, and that is, okay, that's actually pretty easy. Okay, oh, I don't know if that's gonna be too similar to that colour. So the shade Royal Prerogative is this brown here. I am just gonna swatch it next to the shade from my Beauty Bay palette. That is what they look like next to each other. So I can't tell. I think I'm going to keep them both in because I do think they are different tones. I mean, they are similar, but I think that one's definitely more of a crease colour and that one's definitely more of an outer corner colour for me personally, and this one's definitely got a lot more of a warm base and that one's more neutral. So I mean, although they are similar, I do think when you look up close they are a little bit different, and I do think I can use them both in tandem with each other. And the main reason why I don't want to use similar shades is that I don't want to kind of use one in the place of the other and not get enough use on one, because I'm like splitting my time between two basically. But I hit pan on Empress last year. This took a long time, like 30 something uses, and I was using a pretty fine brush. But yeah, the shade Royal Prerogative will be really fun to work on. So yeah, although they are similar, I think I'm going to keep them both in. And then the last palette for the first month of my Pan Those Eyeshadows / last shade is number 19. So I believe that's from, yeah, that's from the same palette, the shade Queen Mother. And I think, oh, that is going to be interesting. That is this shimmery purple shade. So it's this one on the end here. Oof. Okay, that is dark, but I mean, I've randomly generated it. I have to work on it. So that is our colour story for the first part of January and the first half of the year. And yeah, that's going to be difficult. So I'm obviously not going to veto any of these just yet. I'm going to still play around with them. The shade Queen Mother, this palette quality is incredible. So I don't think I've literally ever used that shade. This purple here isn't very good. That's the only dud in this palette. But yeah, I haven't got much use out of it, and it is my 3rd oldest palette, so pretty happy to get some good use on it. But yeah, it's a very pigmented shade. It's not super shimmery. It's more of a kind of like satin metallic, but I definitely think it could look good maybe on the lower lash line or something. But yeah, those two browns should be easy to work into everyday looks. I don't see why I shouldn't be able to use them. I mean, the blue is going to be pretty as an inner corner or just as a blending out shade for any kind of more colourful looks. So for next month, I think definitely can have some good progress on the two browns. I definitely think I could get the usage up to maybe roll them out the month after. These two, I'm not too sure. We're just going to have to play around. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting first month. Definitely some more kind of experimental shades that I'm going to have to, you know, work with and just kind of play around with to use. But yeah, so to go over it, we've got the shades Queen Mother and Royal Prerogative from my Coloured Rain Queen of Hearts palette. We have the shade Roaring from my Beauty Bay Golden Age palette. And then finally, we have the shade Bora Blue from my Made by Mitchell Head in the Clouds palette, which is this light blue shade here. So yeah, very exciting first intro. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are looking forward to this project, because I know I definitely am. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like down below. You can hit subscribe, turn the bell to join a little club, and make sure you turn on all notifications. Then you'll be notified every single time that I post a new video. And if you want to watch one of my other videos, there'll be 2 on the screen now to pick from, as well as a load linked up in the cards from earlier. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!